Hello, my name is Penny Binti Lindo. I'm from semester 1. Today, I will compare two important music periods, the Middle Age and the Classical period. The Middle Age lasted from 450 to 1450. Music in this time was focused on religion and spiritual expression. The music had simple melodies and used only a few instruments. The classical period started around 1750 until 1820. Music became more expressive and formal, also meant for more people to enjoy. It used more instruments and had a clear structure. Now let's look at two famous composers from the Middle Age. The first one is Hildegard of Bingen. She was one of the first known female composers. She wrote plainchant, which is a type of simple religious music. Her famous work is Ordo Virtutum, a religious drama. The second composer is Perotin. He was a student of Leonin. He helped grow polyphony, which means music with more than one vocal part. He also helped write the Magnus Liber Organi, a collection of church music. Now let's move to two famous composers from the classical period. The first one is Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. He was a musical genius even as a child. He wrote over 600 pieces of music, including symphonies, opera, chamber music, and concertos. Some of his most famous works are Eine kleine Nacht music, The Magic Flute, and Symphony No. 40 in G minor. The second composer is Franz Joseph Haydn. He is called the father of the symphonies and also the father of the string quartet. He helped create and shape the classical music style and develop new musical forms. Some of his well-known pieces are the Surprise Symphony, also called Symphony number 94, and the Creation. Now, let's talk about the musical style in both periods. In the Middle Age, the style was simple, religious, and based on chants. Most music was meant for the church and had a claim spiritual feelings, but in the classical period, the music was more elegant, expressive, and balanced. It was written not only for religion but also for entertainment and emotion. For texture, music in the Middle Age was mainly monophonic, which means only one melody line. Later, they start using early polyphony or more than one melody at the same time. In the classical period, music was mainly homophonic, which means a melody with chords played together. For expression, the Middle Age had limited emotion and focuses on spiritual meaning. But in the classical period, music showed many emotions with strong contrast and dynamic change. Performance Middle Age music was usually sung as chants in churches or small group. In the classical period, music was performed in public, concerto, opera, and royal court. We're going to the musical elements in the Middle Age and the classical period. Let's start with the melody. In the Middle Age, the melody was simple, moving step by step, and sounded like a chant. In the classical period, the melody was more balanced, lyrical, and had a clear structure. Next is rhythm. In early medieval music, rhythm was flexible, meaning it didn't have a strong beat, but later it became more steady. In classical music, the rhythm was clear and regular, with a strong pulse that we can feel when listening. For harmony, in the Middle Age, there was very little or no harmony. Music was often sung in the one line or used simple background sounds like drones. In the classical period, harmony became fully developed with clear major and minor chords. Now, for forms, music in the Middle Age was free form, especially chant. There were also some early forms like the motet, but in the classical period, the music had structure forms such as the sonata, symphony, and rondo. Finally, we have instruments in the Middle Age. There were only a few instruments like the lute, harp, or early organs. Music was mostly vocal, but in the classical period, music was played by full orchestra with string instrument, white instrument, and brass instrument. Let's look at the historical context or background of music in the Middle Age and the Classical period. First, the time frame. The Middle Age happens from 450 to 1450, and the Classical period was from 1750 to 1820. Next is society. In the Middle Age, life was controlled by the church and the feudal system. But during the Classical period, the middle class started to grow and people were influenced by new ideas from the Enlightenment. For music patronage or who supported music, in the Middle Age, music was supported by the church and nobles. But in the Classical period, music was still supported by nobles but also by the public through concert and music publishing. Next is technology. In the Middle Age, music was hard-written and hard to get. In the Classical period, the printing press was used more, so music could be shared and sold easily. And finally, the purpose of music. In the Middle Age, music was mainly for religious worship and devotion. But in the Classical period, music was for public enjoyment, artistic expression, and entertainment. Now, I will explain the similarities between the Middle Age and the Classical period. Let's start with musical style. Even though the music sound different, both periods had their own music style. Each followed special rules that matched their time. Also, in the both periods, music was used to express feelings or send message. In the Middle Age, the music was spiritual. In the Classical period, it showed more emotion, but both tried to communicate something through music. Next, let's talk about musical element. In both periods, melody was important, even if it was simple or complex. The melody was the main focus. Also, both used voices and instruments. The Middle Age had more vocal music with simple instruments, and the Classical period had full orchestras, but both combined singing and instruments. Lastly, in both times, music forms developed. In the Middle Age, music grew from chant to early forms like motet. In the Classical period, it developed into forms like sonata and symphony. So, both show growth in music structure. Now, let's look at the historical context. In both periods, music was connected to society. It reflects religion, culture, and the way people live. Music was also supported by important people. In the Middle Age, it was supported by the church and nobles. In the Classical period, support became from nobles and also the public. So in both periods, music grew with the help of powerful group. In conclusion, both the Middle Age and the Classical period were very important time in music history. We saw that the Middle Age focused more on spiritual music using simple melodies and chants in church. Meanwhile, the Classical period brought more emotional and expressive music performance in public concert with full orchestra. Although there are different in style, instrument, and purpose, both periods help shape the music we know today. They both use melody, voice, instrument, and were influenced by society and technology at that time. And most importantly, music in both periods was a way to share emotion, idea, and culture. Thank you.